drunken hour, hooting at the cloud. Welcome to our live stream, OG After Dark.
Oh man, it is 11:14 p.m. on Labor Day. It might be Labor Day, but we labor, much like North Carolina labored in Bill Belichick's debut. Alongside Joe Giglio, I'm Joe Ovies. We are inside Eford Studios. It is OG After Dark. We always thank Copiers Plus, but when we do the After Darks, it's brought to you by our friends at Bloomin' Blinds. Check them out online at bloominblinds.com. You cannot drink from the accomplished greatness cup on a night like tonight, Joe. There was no greatness accomplished in Chapel Hill tonight.
I am still savoring Florida State's big win and Miami's big win. Those are the two games the league needed to win.
Okay.
Not this one.
They would have liked the Clemson over LSU.
They would have
liked that.
As I correctly pointed out, though, Clemson's always going to have a path to the playoff, which includes winning the ACC. Those other schools needed to win their games in order to be considered national contenders. This game,
I want to start on a positive note, Joe.
Okay, positives.
Let's start on a positive because Kelly and I went out to Chapel Hill today. Kind of thought myself, wrapped up lunch, and I thought, you know what? Screw it. Let's go to Chapel Hill. I want to see the vibes. Let's see what's up, right? And I ended up at He's Not Here. Had a couple of blue cups.
Nice.
Saw our guy Brett Thompson. He was hanging out.
Bert.
Shout out to Bert. Brett Live. Vip. Taylor Vipolis in the house. Good to see him. Saw our guy, Ross Martin.
Okay.
Big hitters.
Dog.
The big dogs, the big hitters were hanging out. Scott Dupree, Greater Raleigh Sports Alliance, he was hanging out. Had a couple of listeners pull up. Like this, I always enjoy this because, you always get like the UNC fans in our mentions are like, nobody cares about you, whatever. We got plenty of UNC people out there. I was walking by the old well. Our guy, Hunter.
I did see you in a picture with Hunter.
Hunter was hyped.
Nice.
He was super, super excited. Hung out with Evan Markfield and Mike Sunheim for a little bit at the Dead Mule.
True heels.
Look, man, I was just kind of taking it all in. I thought it was great. Saw our guy Bubba Cunningham. Saw the Cunningham family. Chopped it up with the kids for a little bit. Hadn't seen them in a hot minute. Shout out to Gibbons. And look, it was overall a really nice environment. And I will maintain it was a nice environment.
Not incredible, not like
like
once in a lifetime. Like because from home, it looked like a complete and total spectacle like we've never seen here before.
I mean, we had helicopters flying. I would say that it felt and looked like what North Carolina could be if they actually fulfilled the promise of what their football program has always been projected to be. Okay. And that's where we go from the positive vibes and the gorgeous day. Dude, you could not ask for a better day in Chapel Hill. You could not.
I think Pete Thamel was tweeting about the grass. Dude, now immaculate.
I know.
It was Augusta-like grass.
By the way, I'm sure.
You had Pat McAfee on the pregame show disgracing himself, picking Carolina and saying, well, they're my friends.
I know. Just
like,
pathetic.
Dude, I get it. I get it.
Pathetic.
Dude, they're my friends.
But put a pin in that because I want to get to that. I'd be remiss if I didn't shout out to the young Gravy. Saw him
hustling.
Yeah. He was tailgating. It was good to see him for a little bit.
Yes.
So look, man, I saw Aaron Boone for heaven's sake.
Kind of, sort of, if I go
Julian Council in the house, I saw Sherelle. I saw so many people. I'm losing track. Losing track of how many people I've seen. But to get back to my original point, this looked like what it should be if North Carolina could fulfill the promise of what we've always talked about with them as a football program. It's all there for them.
I think your dad was there at some point last night. But if you watched Miami on TV last night, and you turned it on, you go, you know what? This is what Miami football should look like.
Yeah.
When you turn on the TV tonight for the pregame, you probably said to yourself at some point, wow, A, this is what Carolina football should look like. B, I had no idea Carolina football could look like this.
And for one beautiful scripted offensive series to start things off and one defensive series, it looked the part. But unfortunately, football does go beyond the script. There are adjustments, okay? And the rest of it just fell apart. You know it's bad when Gio Lopez, who I know exited the game with an injury, and Max Johnson comes in to give you a blip of one positive thing to come out of it, where he threw a touchdown to his brother. I know the game's still going on right now.
Yeah, it's 48-14. There's 7 minutes left.
Okay. So I don't think we're not getting a 28-3 comeback in this one.
We are not.
Okay, I just wanted Tom Brady's not walking through that door.
He is not.
He didn't shave it down to a mustache, and he's Bob Trady, and nothing like that, right? Anyway, so outside of some blips and here and there, here's the shocking part. Here's the, like, legitimately, I'm not trying to be a sarcastic ass. Here's the legit shocking part of tonight. They looked like any other Carolina squad, and that's not why you went and got Bill Belichick. If that's what you want, then why you should have just kept Mac Brown. If that's what you want, hey man, Larry Fedora, he's available. You did not bring Bill Belichick, the multiple Super Bowl winner, the guy who we all just assumed that at the very least they'd be prepared. Maybe they don't have the dudes, because that's always been my question. Do you have the dudes? Was there a proper talent evaluation? Could Mike Lombardi really salvage his podcasting career and go back and help put this roster together? Those were all valid questions. I did not expect, and I am absolutely shocked that we saw a Carolina squad under Bill Belichick look completely unprepared and shook in the moment. And it's something that you and I talked about last week. If you lose, you lose. But if you get embarrassed, how do you recover over the next couple of weeks when you got Clemson staring down at you?
Okay.
To make you understand that Clemson's still ACC good, maybe not necessarily national good, but they're going to remind you they're Clemson. And that's the other thing too, real quick. Credit to Sonny Dykes and TCU, and I think this is going to be evident as the season goes on with all the 33rd NFL team stuff that's out there, and we're reinventing college football. Nobody's done it like we do, and we're really prepping you for all this stuff. Are you telling me there's not a bunch of lifers in college football that are relishing this opportunity to do what Sonny Dykes just did in Chapel Hill? Of course they did. So I'm going to be really curious to see how Bill Belichick interacts with this team and gets them to recover after an embarrassing start to the season.
Well, let me push back just on one small part.
Okay.
I thought they were prepared at the start of the football game. They threw a pick six that put them down 20-7 at halftime. If they're down 13-7 at the half, you have a little bit of a different outlook in life. The pick six was a problem. Okay. So I thought they were prepared for. I think you're selling the first quarter a little bit short. I think you're selling first half a little bit short. Just a little bit.
No.
I'm going to get you there though. Okay. I'm going to get there. Okay. So I thought they were prepared in the first half. They throw a pick six. They're down 20-7. There are 2 times in a football game that a coach has to assert his authority. Okay. At the beginning of the game and at halftime, when there are adjustments that have to be made. On the very first play of the second half, TCU pops a 75-yard touchdown run and absolutely does not look back.
Joe.
Absolutely does not look back.
Kirk Herbstreit couldn't even complete his sentence
about how important the first drive was. And then
that is not a prepared.
Kavorian Barnes. No. We don't need to parse through prepared, not prepared, all these other things.
Fine.
Let's talk about why Bill Belichick is here. Okay. Because I think having a night like this is something I never thought I'd ever see in Chapel Hill. We saw we lived through Mac Brown the first time. We lived through Butch Davis and all the ballyhoo that came with his arrival. We lived through Mac Brown the second time. And even that Florida State night, they never had a night like this where the entirety of college football had their eyes on North Carolina. Okay. So the question is, why did you bring Bill Belichick here? And I am still confused by the answer.
Okay.
If the answer is to have a night like this and to show the world that you're invested in college football and that you're embracing the future of college sports because you know the importance of football, I hear you. But if the answer is, and shouts to David Hale and Andrea Adelson for this story that they wrote this morning for ESPN. If the answer is you bought Bill Belichick in to win, quote, national championships, well, I think that's where you and I can start meeting in the middle about the heavy agreement of what's going on in Chapel Hill. To quote from this story, Thomas Davis Jr. is a Charlotte area recruit, and came on his visit, ultimately decided to go to Notre Dame. Thomas Davis, his dad, played for Georgia and also the Carolina Panthers. According to Andrea and according to Davis, this is from Davis now, who went to Notre Dame, didn't go to Chapel Hill. So hat tip to Andrea and David, because these are the kind of people you have to talk to, because these are the people who will be honest. He basically said, hey, man, why are you here? And like, how long will you even be here? And according to Davis, Belichick said, I wouldn't have taken this job to go back to the NFL. Quote, we're going to win national championships here. Quote. The only way to win national championships in college football is to have more talent or as much talent as the best teams in college football.
Yeah.
You cannot out-scheme Alabama. You cannot out-scheme Ohio State. You cannot out-scheme Georgia.
No.
You cannot outluck them.
College football is really simple.
College football. And shout to Bud Elliott, who comes up with his talent index every single year.
Yeah, the blue chip
and
ratio.
tells you who are the teams that are capable of winning a national championship. I told you from day one. Now, the first player they signed 40 players in the portal. 40.
Okay.
But the very first one they signed was a center from Holy Cross who was hurt and didn't play tonight. That's a problem.
They were like on their third string center already.
I told you from the beginning, if you were serious about that life, you call Caleb Downs. You pay Caleb Downs $5 million to be your Rodney Harrison. You have to have hammers. Let me ask you something about this roster that suggests that there was a hammer. Here are the players that stood out to me, and you can interrupt me if at any point when I name someone that they brought in that was new. Here are the players that stood out to me. Jordan Shipp, receiver.
Yeah.
Javarius Green, receiver. Caleb Hood, running back. Right. Max Johnson, quarterback. One of the players who stood out for the wrong reason was Marcus Allen. Like here's another. Marcus Allen was the cornerback, number 29. Poor bastard. I don't know how the book got out on this guy, but you talked about college coaches being ready. They picked on that poor corner the entire time the game was in doubt. Every single play was thrown on number 29. To your point about college coaches either trading tape, trading stories, or being ready to hunt down the big brain on Bill, because they hit everything right down to their cute, sweet depth chart card that they released with nothing fucking on it.
Yeah, I know. I know our guy Josh Graham was probably pantless in the press box when Adam Schefter retweeted him.
And it's final, by the way.
So wait, hold up. They got to first and goal with a minute 30 to go and they didn't score. Did they kneel it out?
I don't know. 48-14.
Okay, because they should have scored again. I don't know why TCU did. Anyway.
No, they must have. No, kneel down. They nailed it down.
They nailed it down?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
So my confusion with Belichick is if you're here to win a national championship, then you have to build your roster in a different way.
Yes.
The 40 guys you brought in, I'm sure there were some who made plays on defense that I would need to sit and watch 100 different times. The corner on the other side, obviously, is the Washington transfer, who they didn't throw to because they just figured the kid was pretty good, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's players that they're going to sit here and point to and say, no. But if you bought in 40 guys with their payroll, this is not NC State, trying to rub two nickels together to keep a player.
Joe.
This is not anyone else not named Miami in the ACC trying to keep players on their roster. Like, they went out and got these players with the hubris of thinking they were going to be good enough to, quote, win national championships.
You just said the magic word, the hubris. Okay. And I tried to say this last week.
You did.
And nobody ever wants to listen to me. Nobody ever wants to listen to me. It's fine. I understand. I'm not talking 3-3-5 stacks and all that shit. I get it. But I can smell this stuff a mile away, man. And for whatever reason, people don't want to believe that we have enough evidence, we have enough data by the time these guys got here to get a good understanding of what they're thinking. And this business about talent evaluation and Bill Belichick was maddening to me. Maddening. As though they were hitting on every effing draft pick, even with Tom Brady.
Oh, the Patriots at the end. Yeah.
Okay.
Or even not even at the end. I mean,
so this business about talent evaluation with Bill Belichick, and you just actually hit on something when you talked about Pat McAfee saying, well, my friend. That's another problem with this effing business. Okay. We got too many buddies out there. We don't want to piss anybody off. I get it. It's the trend. People want to listen to podcasts and feel good about themselves and hear great stories and stuff like that. But show a little objectivity when we're doing this stuff. And if you don't want, he's like, well, I got to look out for it. No, call it like you see it. And unfortunately for this Tar Heel team, the idea that Bill Belichick was somehow outclassing everybody else in terms of talent evaluation is comical to me. Straight up comical to me. And we saw it on display today. Again, I will reiterate myself as people are now getting in on the After Dark. We appreciate everybody here. Throw us a like, get in the comments.
Yeah.
We'll play some phone calls here in a second. The only shock to me was how unprepared they looked. And one thing that you tweeted that we haven't even addressed yet, 16 minutes into this, Bill was not coaching him up.
I'm going to go full Bill Simmons here.
He was not coaching him up. He was isolated.
I'm going full Bill Simmons here because they showed him before kickoff. And I mean, the place really was. I'm only on TV. The place was just buzzing.
The whole place was buzzing.
And I get it. Yeah. Michael Jordan and Lawrence Taylor hit my particular bit of nostalgia.
Yeah.
It's still pretty fucking cool to see Lawrence Taylor and Michael Jordan together at a football game. I'm just saying. Okay. I'm just saying. For me, it was pretty fucking cool.
And I'm sure they did not have the Tar Heels on their apps.
I would hope that they didn't. Now, when they show Belichick coming out of the tunnel with the team,
yeah,
it's like it looked like he was almost like he was bothered. Like, say what you want about Dabo Swinney with his sprint and, oh man, he's showing off. He's putting himself before the team. He's trying to take all the spotlight. No, I actually think he's trying to show his team, hey man, I'm excited to be here. I'm ready for this football game. I'm excited that we get a chance to show the world how good we are.
Yeah.
You should be excited too. He comes walking out of that tunnel almost like it was a fucking surprise. Like, oh, there's a game tonight. And then the sideline was immaculate. Like they had their discipline down. I'm sure they went over this shit at a 5 a.m. practice or 4:30 practice or whatever the fucking mad genius gets out there and practices. But he was a good 10 yards away from anyone else on his, not only on the team, but on the staff. Even before the game, he's standing out there by himself, trying to look at the TCU walkthrough. And I'm like, it's finally his kid, one of his sons came over, Steven, finally came over to talk to him. And I'm like, are you even going to talk to anybody on your team?
Joe.
At any point, are you going to interact with a player? At any point.
I went to the Tar Heel, the Old Well Walk. Okay. Chase Rice, everybody's hyped up. I'm here in the Polk Place area, right? Although if Kelly were listening, she'd clown me for like, you always misname these places. Neither here nor there. So met up with Julian Council, Locked On Tar Heels podcast, and we're waiting for Bill Belichick to come through. And does this guy look like he's hype? He's not hyping up the crowd. He's not looking at anybody. He's not interacting with anybody.
He's got the trooper.
He's got the trooper. It's just
and some Chapel Hill police.
It's just very much
He's got a double.
It's almost like
8 security guards.
It's almost like, why do I have to do all this crap before a football game? Why do I?
Why not walk in with Lombardi? Why not?
No, Lombardi. No, Lombardi was right behind.
I understand that, but fake it. Give it the old. Hey, can you believe this shit?
Right.
Hey, look at us.
Right.
Give it to Paul Rudd. Look at us.
Who'd have thought? Couldn't even give you that.
Anything.
So
all he said to Holly, poor Holly, was, well, yeah, that's kind of my thing. Okay. Okay.
Got it. Anyway, let's go to the OG Sports phone. As always, OG After Dark brought to you by Bloomin' Blinds. Hit them up, bloominblinds.com. 10 or more window treatments. Some of you Tar Heel fans might actually know. I mean, you know what? I'm going to give credit to some Tar Heel fans. Midway third quarter, a lot of them were hitting the exits. Okay. That's fine.
It's 8 o'clock start. People do have to work tomorrow.
Football school. So that's not football culture. That's not, I'm sorry. And the reason why I bring this up, and I'm not
3 o'clock. It's 9:30.
You're making all the excuses. That hold Carolina back. I get it, but you're saying, oh, there's this, there's that, there's this. You would never say that stuff about like some SEC schools. Well, but this is my point. This is my point. I don't fault Carolina fans
I was gonna say,
for leaving in the third quarter, not because it's late and I got to get home and the campus and the traffic and all this other kind of stuff. I don't blame Carolina fans because a lot of rational ones were hyped to be there and they were glad to be there. But then when they saw, they went, man, I've seen this shit before. I told you, like I had bad feelings about this. I went in optimistic, just like every Carolina fan that I talked to went in optimistic. And then they saw that and they went, psh, Man, Mac Brown's laughing his ass off somewhere right now.
For
Mac
sure.
Brown's just laughing his ass off
For
right
sure.
now. You know? So anyway, let's hit the OG Sports phone. Y'all know the number.
919-444-2211. Call the OG Sports phone and curse or don't.
As always, the OG Sports phone is brought to you by Nature's Relief. Check them out online, naturesreliefhempstore.com. Something tells me that some of you Tar Heel fans might need some Nature's Relief after all of that debacle. We're just going to raw dog these bad boys that we got here at 910, and then you want another OG light?
Yes, please.
Okay, hold on.
Boys, what is going on in Tarboro? I mean, this is an NC State fan's dream. I bet on Carolina tonight, just in case, man. Just in case the Bills the real deal. First drive, they go down. I'm like, oh shit. Sorry for cursing. But I was like, oh shit, man. Like Carolina's them. They might go to the national championship. But oh my goodness, what a meltdown! This is just NC State's going 12-0. Carolina's going 3-9. Have a nice night, boys.
Oh man! All right, this is from Paul. SEC loved that display from Carolina. They said, "Come here and get beat by our teams." Yeah, it's from the Ollie fan. Robert Kraft is cackling somewhere too. You think Robert Kraft and Mac Brown have each other's number, or if somebody wanted to connect with the other guy, just have a good old laugh about this?
There's a lot of Schadenfreude out there tonight. A lot. Now,
dude, you don't think you think the NFL coaches and front office peoples aren't laughing their ass off?
I know we'll
right
get
now?
there in the recap here, so I'll save that point until the end.
Okay.
But I wanted to give quick TCU, as Chip Patterson came on this summer, said, I think that's a pretty good team.
Yeah.
Hoover, I think, is the best quarterback that they're going to see all year.
Better than like Darian Mensah, better than CJ Bailey.
Yeah, because older. He's been there. He's done that. You know, you're at the same school, same coordinator, all those things now at this point. One of the things I wanted to say about TCU, which you had brought up a couple different times this summer. Yes, Sonny Dykes is a really good coach, but you know who is vigorously pleasuring himself in the run up to this game was Kendall Briles, their offensive coordinator. Because I'll be perfectly honest with you, I forgot that he was their OC.
Yeah.
You want to talk about shit you ain't ever seen in the NFL? Yeah, I mean, Art Briles is a despicable human being.
Thank you for bringing that. No,
he is a despicable human being.
That isn't.
But you cannot knock the innovation that he's had on offense in the last 30 years in college football, and that's Kendall's his son.
I'm glad you brought that up, because before we take some more phone calls, it's a very, very good point, and it ties into something that we talked about all summer long with Bill Belichick, and one of what I thought was a legitimate question related to what he was trying to do with the 30-30 NFL team and the scheme and stuff like that. The NFL reflects what college football is pumping out. We've already crossed that inflection point where, as much as the NFL wanted a particular type of quarterback, a particular type of player, college football talent and what they were running eventually started to bleed over to the NFL.
Shit, man, we had Chip Kelly coaching in the NFL.
One thing that you can call the Boston people haters all you want. You brought up Bill Simmons, and I bet you Bill Simmons, after watching this game, will fire up his podcast and talk about all this antiquated stuff that Bill was already running in New England, thinking that, man, these college guys don't know what the fuck they're doing. I'll show them. It's actually the other way around. Buddy, you ain't seen shit like this in the NFL, because you can't pull this stuff off the NFL, so you weren't ready for this.
I tipped the hat to Kendall Briles, because they came out with a couple different formations.
Yeah, dude.
Where I was like, you should.
Now, again,
and there was definitely a couple of them where he was like, look at the big brain on Bill.
We're going to spend more time having some more rational takes tomorrow on the normal podcast, because the one thing you have to understand is that week one in college football is always a weird ass week, and you have rooms. The same with the Arch Manning discourse, right?
Yeah.
Even though I ultimately look pretty smart about Arch Manning in week one, he's also not going to play a game of consequence until October 4th. And the same thing's going to happen with UNC here over the next couple of weeks, unless they shit the bed against Charlotte.
No, they're gonna come out hot.
I'm with you on that too. All right, from a 919.
Hey guys, NC State fan here, It is getting towards the end of the third quarter. It's 34-7 TCU over UNC. Just want to say I have not hate watched a UNC game like this in a while, and they're going to get better this season. They're not going to play like this every game, I don't think. But as a State fan, this is pretty incredible. All the hype, and they are getting absolutely blown out on national TV. Now, still another quarter to play. Things could turn around, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. But as a State fan, this is incredible. I couldn't ask for more. The ECU game left a bitter taste in my mouth. Yes, we won, but Dave was Dave. This is awesome, though. All right, guys, take it easy.
I just want to remind folks that
Dave George always catches strays. He's always catching strays.
We were gonna go.
Nope.
But I will say this: all the people who are hate watching Carolina, hey man, that success initiative check cuts. It hits. That check hits regardless if you win or lose, man. So if you're watching these ratings, hey, Bubba's still cashing those checks. That's all that matters. All right, to another 919.
David from Smithfield again. 41-7, excuse me, the extra point as Carolina fans head to the exits. You know, when you notice when they scored their first touchdown, nothing says Carolina football like showing Michael Jordan and Roy Williams. That's the problem, Carolina fans. You'll never be a football program.
Oh man.
To be clear, if you had Roy Williams and Michael Jordan,
you would trot them out. You would trot them out.
You would definitely be like, hey. And there would definitely be like, hey, remember that time I coached Lawrence Taylor? I would tell all those stories.
You say that stuff, and it's like, do these players
I
even
know
who the hell he is?
I get that.
Hell, I don't even know how he's allowed on campus.
Lawrence Taylor.
Probably not within any kind of freshman dorm.
Just saying.
That's for sure.
Trot him around, right? Anyway, 919.
You know, I say this as a born Tar Heel fan, born and raised in Chapel Hill, alum of UNC and former employee of UNC. This is awesome. We're getting exactly what we deserve for this clown show. Go App State.
All right, to a 919.
I know Jordan Hudson got into the UNC Business School under some kind of sketchy pretenses, but if she had anything to do with getting Bill this $50 million contract, she needs to be teaching there because holy shit, this is bad.
Oh, man.
Another 919.
Hey, Joes. This is Tim calling from lovely Clayton, North Carolina. It is now 34-7, and just had a quick question for you guys. Has Bill Belichick entered the Herbst Index zone yet, or anyways, I'll let y'all answer that one. Have a great night. I'm enjoying this. Go Pack.
Oh, man.
I love our listeners. They're the best. All right, bro. 440.
Hey, Joe. It's Mike from Charlotte by way of Cleveland, longtime Tar Heel fan. And let me just tell you, I started off this night on an absolute high. The first drive was perfection marching down the field. The first drive on defense looked fantastic for the first time in about 5 seasons. And then it all just went downhill, thinking, hey, you know, at halftime, we can rally the troops. And I just watched TCU's running back go 75 yards on the first play of the second half. And I heard Ovius' voice in my head going, triangle good. All right. Bye, guys.
This is, hold on a second. I gotta pull this up. Somebody said this to me. Speaking of Michael Jordan, right? This is, I don't know why Michael Jordan shows up to big events. Like Michael Jordan showed up to the 2016 national championship, and he got crying Jordan out of there as Chris Jenkins hit the shot to end all shots, right? It looks like Jordan wasted no time. At least he stayed until the end. He didn't leave in the third quarter. This is from the jetways. Apparently his jet already gone 36 minutes ago. Peaced out before the game was even over. He saw enough. I wonder if Roy said, take me with you. What's the golf course we can't talk about?
Oh, and
What's Jordan's golf course that we can't name it? It's like a super secret golf course.
that's in Florida somewhere.
And that's probably where they're headed. All right, to 840.
We were right. We were right. I wanted to be wrong. I never wanted to be wrong more in my life. But we were right. Every knowledgeable Tar Heel fan I know was right. And I thought I'd be okay. I thought I'd be checked out because I didn't believe in it. But now I'm just angrier than I've ever been before. Angrier than I've ever been. And I was right. And I didn't want to be, God damn it. I wanted to be wrong. I wanted to be wrong. He doesn't want to be here. He doesn't care enough. The only positive I could see coming out of this is 5 years from now, the articles are written that Belichick wasn't the answer, but the investment level took some time, and now Carolina football is some semblance of good. It's the only thing I can hope for now.
The good news too is Steven won't be the guy who replaces him.
No.
You said colleges around the country might have a little bit of extra zeal and maybe have something in the chamber when they beat Carolina. I will direct your attention
what did the
to the Big 12 conference.
No.
Not TCU.
No.
Not TCU.
No.
The fucking conference.
Brett Yormark tweeted that himself. I'm convinced.
A 34-point win over the 33rd team. Sir. Sir.
I'm telling you, dude.
That was in the holster.
And unlike Dion in Colorado, there's no Travis Hunter. There's no Shador Sanders.
But why? With that salary, that roster, the amount of money that they have, why?
Because Mike Lombardi's your freaking GM. That's why. I don't know how else more bluntly I can put it. You put him in charge. Him. Failed podcaster. Him. Okay? We could do that too.
Yeah.
Failed radio guys. Let us put a team together.
I do wonder what happened with Lopez because they obviously we don't know the number for him, but it's got to be $3, $4, $5 million that they had to pay.
I've heard
to get him.
Yeah.
And to just not use him in a way like if you're an App State fan, you're like, wow, that guy like put it in our ear last year on national television. Like, where was that guy? Like, I didn't see any designed runs for him. Even Kirk Herbstreit at halftime was like, I really thought that was weird. Like, shouldn't they be running with a running quarterback? And it was like, I thought that was bizarre.
It's not
the first drive was scripted. They had a nice deep shot off of play action. I thought they were setting that up nicely. Mm-hmm. He had a great throw to Ship on that play to set up a touchdown. Mm-hmm. But after that, it was just a lot of weird play calls to me. A lot of zone stretch, a lot of like single back stuff. Like, oh, this will bust, this will break. Like, huh?
Not respecting the other team. Not respecting the other defense.
I put a bingo card together. I wanted to see the Kevin Falk direct snap. I wanted to see the Mike Vrabel leak at the goal line. Like, we got none of that. And I think maybe that gets back to where Belichick misfired.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to trusting Mike Lombardi, which is kind of funny when you say it out loud like that.
I don't think enough people said it out loud. That's the problem.
Where he misfired, in addition, in the NFL, let's not forget, he is a Bill Parcells disciple.
Yeah, I get that.
Okay. Bill Parcells, Bill Belichick, Sean Payton, they're all the same person. You get a new job, you bring 2 or 3 players with you.
Sure.
Guess what? You could do that in the NFL. You can bring a Kevin Falk with you. You could bring a Troy Brown, a Zeke Mollott, a David Maggott, whoever Sean Payton took with him from the Saints to the Broncos, whoever, I'm sure there was Browns who he ended up signing or Jets that he ended up signing to go play for the Patriots. Parcells also Belichick because he coached their defense. You go and bring your guys because you can motherfuck people during camp.
Yeah.
And then those guys go behind you and pick them up.
Right.
He clearly is not interacting with his players during the game. Clearly. Like, that's totally fucking obvious. I don't care what you're doing behind the scenes. Like, you got to have a connection to your players. He does not look like from one game, from one evidence of a game, he does not look like he has any connection to these players. And that is a really important part of the Bill Parcells coaching tree, is you got to have your guys in that locker room. You got to have your guys kind of preach the message. And let's go back to something that I've been saying this whole entire summer.
Yeah.
How they react to this game is going to be the most important part of their season.
Yeah, that's the key.
I did not think they were going to lose 48-14 in this game. I did think they were going to lose, though.
Mm-hmm.
And how you respond after someone telling you for however many weeks and months, this is how you do it, this is how you do it, this is how you do it. Well, you're going to tell that guy you're full of shit because we did it and then we lost by 34 points.
Yeah.
So how they react to this game is the biggest takeaway from this game, as always was to me.
Yeah.
I just did not expect it to go as sideways as it did. And I think the real problem, Joe, the real problem is not just the players that he bought in, to your point about the misevaluation on the talent front.
Yeah.
I think the real problem is there's no Teddy Bruschi to turn to. There's no Rodney Harrison to turn to. Pick a guy, pick any of these guys who he's always been available that you can turn to and say, hey, man, I'm going to crack the whip today. You go behind me and pick it up.
Yeah.
Or, hey, I'm going to be the soft guy. You go in and be the bad cop today. He's got a real problem. He's got a real problem on his hands with how he relates to these players. And part of it is exposure to these players. And maybe that's why, as you said, they've been trying to pump the brakes most of this time under the premise of we're probably not going to be that good early, but by the end of the season, we probably will look a lot better.
It's all sloganeering, though. You know, they talked about toughness. Again, going back to Mike Lombardi, we're going to be a tough team. We're going to be a physical team. I didn't see any of that stuff. What year was it when Clemson with Trevor Lawrence came to Carter Finley Stadium and that game was over in the first quarter?
It was 2019.
It's 2019. It was a really, really cold night that night.
Yeah.
I was at that game. But I was not. I only got the clips after the fact where the broadcast crew didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
The famous quote from Chris Fowler.
What did Fowler say?
I've seen people leave at halftime before.
Yeah.
I've never seen a crowd leave after the first quarter before.
I think it was Jason Kirk of Shutdown Phonecast who pointed out that this broadcast crew, as professional as they are, ran out of filler in the third quarter as things were derailing. Yeah. I don't think they even scripted what to talk about. Well, and it's one thing.
And Reese was messing up the players' names.
That's fine.
But that's a lack of familiarity.
Yeah.
Right.
But the thing,
they're the number one fucking team in college football, and they don't know who's on the team.
But that's
what I'm saying.
That's a story for every team. That's a talking point. I mean, NC State just went through this where Dave Dorn, they gave me the whole spiel with Dave Dorn and the 41 players, and they all have to know their names and all this other stuff. That's the same just about anywhere. Okay. Mike Norvell
that doesn't make you the number one broadcast team in the country, though, buddy. There's a different standard for them. I'm sorry.
I understand.
I'm sorry.
That.
He's calling Caleb Hood, Caleb Williams. He's just botching a bunch of. Davion Gauss changed his number. He didn't even know that. It was just
I guess it shows you how serious they take Carolina as an actual program. And it was the Bill Belichick story, and that was the only thing they were talking about.
But I also think, how much time do you really get with them?
That's another good question.
So at some point, you got to go to practice and see things and be exposed to them.
The reason why I brought up that,
do you want to hear Belichick, our friends at Carolina Blitz, have at least a 44-second clip of him if you'd like.
Vashtai's got something.
I'm sure it's just. I mean, if it was we're on to Charlotte, we've already heard that, right?
well, you can pull that up. I'll play this. I'll play this from a 619.
This is the greatest hate watch of all time. I mean, I shouldn't feel too good because I mean it's a guy in his college coaching debut with a young wife at home, or young future wife at home, just kind of figuring it out for the first time. Threw together a really good drive, but, you know, we don't know much about him. We don't know what he can do with the college ranks or any ranks because he's never really coached here before. So I'm sure he'll figure it out. He's got a long tenured career ahead of him. He's probably got like 5 more years till he, you know, is in a home. So this has been probably the best night of my life outside of watching State beat the piss out of Carolina the last 4 years. God, this is awesome. Just Gio Lopez isn't even triangle good. I love this so much.
Man, the hate watching is just off the charts. The reason why I brought up the 2019 State Clemson game, right, is that I'm used to seeing those sorts of things in the triangle because, hey, man, we're kind of used to Dave Dorn coming up short when the lights are on in the big moments, right?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've seen this with Mac Brown. We have like a long history at Carolina with Mac Brown, you know, being a double-digit favorite only to lose straight up in those games, right? We've seen them no-show against NC State, right? Like, these are all things. There's a cadence to them. We're all kind of surprised.
Georgia Tech.
Oh God! I mean, how many trips to Atlanta for Carolina go? These are things that if you've been here a long time and you've watched a lot of these games and you've gone through all these coaches, there's almost like a pattern and a rhythm to what we expect out of football. The reason why I brought up that 2019 game is that it was so extreme in that case. It left the broadcast crew with no choice but to say, man, I've never seen this before.
I'm at a loss for words. Did you know Will Shipley has 25 members of his family who graduated from NC State?
But the reason why it's different is because, yeah, man, that's Clemson running hot with Trevor freaking Lawrence.
Right.
Okay. Like that was,
now
like,
you can
as you
talk
like
about
to
the
say,
playoff race and all
war
that.
machine.
Yeah.
Like you could talk all about all sorts of stuff. They had nothing. Yeah. Nothing. And I was shocked by that because
They
not
tried
even
with
they,
the poison ivy anecdote about
they
the
cracked that
transfer.
one open, and then they get Max Johnson in. I mean, look, Max Johnson's a great story. He's able to throw the touchdown to his brother. I was kind of surprised that he looked as good as he did. That also could be a testament to the fact that TCU probably laid off a little bit.
Hey, strangely, I also say this especially, I mean, that was a very, very serious injury.
It was.
He was hit on either first or second throw, and he got right up, and it was like that was actually the best possible thing for him.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because I
get that hit, get back up.
Now all of a sudden he's
good.
like, okay, I can do this. I can do this. This is football.
All right, 2-8-2-8.
Joe, forget about Dave Doran. The euphoria I'm feeling right now can sustain me till next September. Ah, incredible. Chapel Bill.
You got that clip?
Mm-hmm.
Pull it up. I'm curious to see what
I'm going to guess this is the first 44 seconds.
Okay, this is from Vashti I heard over at Carolina Blitz.
Oh, well, it was a great atmosphere here for the game tonight. Fans were had tremendous energy. We played competitively, but then just couldn't sustain it. So obviously we have a lot of work to do. We did do a better job all the way around, coaching, playing, all three phases of the game. Just wasn't up to what it needs to be, and I know we're a lot better now. So need to work on those things.
Okay, I've heard enough. I got nothing. There's nothing there.
Whoever dyes his hair does a really good job, by the way.
I just need hair.
I mean, I'm being serious. Because you got Ryan Day at Ohio State, and he looks like Superman's dad. Like, whatever the guy is on the bad guy, son of Jarrell, you will kneel before Zod.
Yeah, Ryan Day clearly got the dollar store version of Just for Men when it comes to his beard.
He makes $8 bazillion a year. Like, the people who take care of Bill's hair, like that's what you should look like.
But then again, did you see he clearly has a nipple piercing? He's got a nipple bar. Did you see that? Did you see that picture?
Oh, the Ryan Day picture?
Yeah.
You think that was a bar?
Dude, that was a bar. That was a bar.
It didn't even occur to me.
Good for him, though. I'm sure there was some sort of bet. I win this national championship. I'm getting pierced, guys. All right, 336.
Hey, guys. Just want to know a quick question here from Raleigh. Whose seat is hotter in Chapel Hill? Hubert Davis or Bill Belichick? Thanks.
If I'm Hubert Davis, I got two reactions. How are you going to blame me for this? Because
it's coming.
How are you going to blame Herbert? How are you going to blame Hubert for this? But if I'm Hubert, I'm mad today. I'm probably waiting on texting John Pryor and all those people, right? The board of trustees saying, so I couldn't get money for this. That's what you're telling me. I had to beg you for money so this could happen. Got it. I mean, but Hubert's a much better man than I am. Hubert's a much better man. He's a man of God. He would never do such a thing. But I know deep down, maybe he's thinking, you fuckers gave this guy that amount of money for that result, and I'm on the hot seat.
Now, I want to be clear. I thought they were going to lose this football game tonight. I did not see this.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Like
saying saying TCU was going to beat UNC is not a hot take.
No,
not a hot take.
No, and we've said it consistently all off season. This wasn't like us being like, oh, this wasn't us being Pat McAfee like, well, These are my friends.
My
So they're going to
friends.
win. I'm going to pick my friends.
No, saying TCU was going to win this game was not a hot take. It was not a bold proclamation. It wasn't a stone cold lock. Any of that stuff. Nobody could predict that.
But I want to be super clear about this because, again, there are two things that are always on that coach. The start of the game, the start of the second half. Joe, it was 20-7 at the half with a pick six.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it wasn't a disaster at the half.
Yeah, it was, though.
I know it was turning the other way. I get it was.
Joe, the reason why I'm going to say I disagree with you on this is because after the scripted play, after the scripted
They
drive,
couldn't do anything.
They couldn't do
offensively,
jack
they couldn't do anything.
shit.
I get
You
that.
know it's bad when ESPN has a graphic and whoever came up with the
8:12
graphic.
p.m.
Dude.
I hope that wasn't our guy.
It was not Brett. Brett was not working.
No,
it wasn't Ives either. Ives, that would
Ives wouldn't do the
he
heels
would-
dirty like
no,
that.
He would do it like that.
I love that Herb Street immediately was like, I'm not sure I've ever seen a graphic like that.
I've never seen a graphic like that. So I get what you're saying. It was 20-7, but when you couldn't complete a pass for 2 hours of real time,
Well, what I'm saying though
they
is
didn't complete a pass until past 10 o'clock.
right. But what I'm saying is, even if you took the optimistic view that you fought in the first half, it was 20-7 with a pick six, a correctable mistake. There's no defending the third quarter.
No.
And falling behind 41-7 the way that they did in the fourth quarter. Like there's no way to defend that.
And again,
That's Joe. To be clear.
Yeah.
That's on the coach.
Right.
Joe.
But
that's on the fucking coach, Joe.
It's the GOAT. I was told it was the GOAT. And I've been saying this for weeks. But I'm an idiot. These players can absorb it all you want, but can they play? Can they play? That's the thing in college that is different from the NFL.
Yeah, you can coach them up and then they'll execute.
Because they're grown-ass men getting paid, and you have your pick of the elite, the 1%, less than 1% who actually make it to the NFL. You're dealing with a different caliber of player. I'm not saying that they're bad. No, you're dealing with college players, and there's a legitimate question as to whether or not they can execute what you're trying to tell them to do and coach them up. Clearly was not there. The adjustments were not there in the second half based on that first play from scrimmage. They couldn't tackle 75 yards.
The next series wasn't much better, by the way.
Anyway, 919.
Ovies and Joe, it's Matt and Fuqua. It's midway through the third quarter of this Carolina game. I'm sure a lot of people watching this game didn't realize that TCU is actually going to be really good this year. For those of us who have been paying attention, pretty much every outlet has them finishing very highly ranked. This was very likely going to be a TCU win, so I hope you had money on that. I didn't bet on it just because I didn't want to be involved in Carolina proving me wrong and losing money on it. In any event, for the state fans and the UCU fans who feeling pretty weak about or not very hopeful about the season approaching, and for the UNC fans watching their team get their ass kicked on live TV when the vibes are at an all-time high and every single media member in the business is praising every single great thing about Chapel Hill and the campus and everything else, is why the football team is the sleeping giant and how it's all coming together. Well, boys, Triangle Good has met its match. We're looking at another one of those seasons, guys. Get your asses in gear. Get your minds right. Get your mind right. Don't bet on your teams. It's a terrible decision. Good luck to everyone. May the best mediocre team make it to the most mediocre bowl. Go Pack. Stay gorgeous. Stay handsome. Peace.
For my guy Mitch, I just want to point out the Belichick's post-game press conference had a balloon arch in the backdrop like Jordan was decorating for a baby shower. That's actually the one thing that I got wrong. I thought there would be a baby bump on the sideline today.
You want me to save my Carolina season's not over until
save it for tomorrow. Save it for tomorrow on the
save it for the show.
On the proper. Hey man, it was just week one.
Okay,
it's just week one. It's just week one. All right, another 919.
What's up, guys? 2 minutes left in the third quarter here, and looks like TCU's trying to make the gap in the score the same as the age gap between Bill Belichick and Jordan Hudson. I mean, come on, guys. Did anybody actually think this was going to work out well after all the drama with Jordan Hudson over the offseason? I mean, this is going to work out horribly for UNC. It's a disaster, and I am all here for it, guys. I'm all here for it.
I don't know if it was the exact age gap. I don't think Jordan was 7 when Bill was 48 or whatever it was. But I don't know. I have to go back and double check my math.
No, we never got the 50 years.
I know. All right, 919.
Okay, this is my third and final call. I'm responding to a Giglio tweet. I don't think he wants to be here, referring to Bill Belichick. Like, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Just watching him on the sideline the whole game, because like I certainly wasn't watching that shit on the field. I don't think he like wants to be. And I know he kind of always has that stoic, like no nonsense face, but like I don't know. He doesn't look pissed. He does not look happy. Like, there's no way he finishes out this. There's just no shot. With how bad this is going, there's no way he finishes the season.
He'll finish the season. All right, 920.
TCU, you start off against Colorado by losing the opening game. And just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber, you go and do something like this and totally redeem yourself. The only issue I had is I didn't put more money on this game. 3.5 points? Gosh, I should have put more money on this game. Thank you, TCU and UNC. You're just a tease. Thanks, guys.
I think at some point during when no one was talking to him and he was a good 10 yards clear of anyone else on the program.
Yeah.
I think he thought to himself pretty quickly in that third quarter, God damn it, I need 15 wins to beat Shula. 15. At most, it's 2 seasons. Like, Wellington Mara, you can't give me the fucking job for 2 years, man.
Nope.
Like, Brian Dayball, really?
No.
Really?
Couldn't get the Atlanta Falcons job.
Well, I mean, we know why.
Because Robert Kraft said, no,
I still don't know why he didn't get the Giants job.
Because Robert Kraft told the owner not to do it. That's why.
Well, the Giants guy has his own opinions.
Yeah, fair.
You know what I mean?
All right, so 919.
As an NC State fan watching this UNC TCU game, it made me realize something. Maybe Bill Belichick is just Dave Doran 2.0, but for Carolina. Think about it. Dave went 0-8 in conference play. And sure, TCU's not in the ACC. But with all this hype surrounding Bill Belichick at UNC, you would think he would at least do a little bit better at home for the first game in front of everybody there. But that's just me. I'm sorry, but the hate watching stopped in the third quarter. It was just bad. I mean, you can't put any icing on that. That is just nothing good to talk about there. But you got growing pains as part of being a new coach. And ultimately, I'm sure y'all will get it figured out. Much love from a State fan. Go Pack.
So many State fans. All right, another 919.
Hi, boys. Well, I guess there's no thrill on the hill. This is the shit show in Keenan. I'm glad I went to Nature's Relief last week and bought me some gummies to sleep. Looks like the team kind of went there too, but yeah, I figured they'd lose, but not like this. What an embarrassment. But I'll be watching your After Dark show later. Have a good one.
What a disaster piece.
I'm slow to point the finger to point to the pastor here. Mikey P. Great artwork, guys. I didn't even realize we got a new one for this game.
Yeah. He came up. I think the Tar Heel looks a little. I think Ramsey's looks a little too happy.
Happy,
all things considered.
Yeah, but the pinky's out. I kind of like that.
Yeah, the pinky is out.
Yeah,
the pinky is out. All right, to a 252.
Ovies, Giglio, Sean Gravy once again, calling in from Chapel Hill. I thought it was bad. I think it was Carolina fans find each other kind of bad entering the concourse or exiting the concourse. I don't know what to say. You go up, you score a touchdown, your opening drive, and then that's it. 45 unanswered points. They got rid of Mac for this. 4-8. 4-8 might be the win total. Might be the over-under this year. We'll see. We'll see. Not hearing a lot about Jordan, though, are we? Long-time listener, great coworker, Ovies, thank you for stopping by. Carolina's got a long way to go. We'll see.
I appreciate the young gravy having high lifes ready to go for me.
The good news is they get 3 games to figure some things out.
Yeah. And then
the good news is you also know right now you're not, and you will not be anything more than triangle good this year.
And
you will not.
And
you will not.
And the best you can hope is that Dabo doesn't decide to relish the opportunity to yuck it up with Bill at the ACC spring meetings, and you'll see those clips on the ACC network.
Oh no,
because that's the other thing too. There's a lot of like smiling in Bill's face, like, "Oh man, it's so great to have you here." It's, "I mean, Bill Belichick's in the room with us," but you know, deep down, Dabo's thinking, "Man, I'm about to take you to school." So 919.
Oh,
hi, Joe. This is me, ACC Commissioner Jim Phillips. As you know, famously, I urge our ACC opponents to never go on the road to Group of 5 competition because it's damaging to the brand. And as you know, that's what football is all about. I am right now seeing TCU get a turnover, and I'm very concerned. So I am issuing a new ordinance. North Carolina may no longer host purple teams. I think that is best for the ACC brand. Past 2 years, it's just gone horrible. I am on the verge of telling North Carolina to not play games for the sake of their brand. But for now, we're going to just cut out the color purple at a Kenan Stadium. No purple teams. No teams that are, even reddish blue. I think it would be best. And then hopefully that will get UNC a backdoor into the college football playoff.
Was it JMU last year? That was the backbreaker.
Great moments in Giglio history.
Yeah, that was a backbreaker last year. All right, to another 919.
Hey, Joe. You know what? It was good to see you earlier. He's not tonight. This is Jacob, your neighbor. But I just want you to know that was a nightmare. I'm leaving, and I think there's 5 minutes left in the third quarter. But I don't think Bill knows how to coach defense. You know, there was 4 or 5, very simple counters off the, left side where TCU just ran right through the guard and the tackle. But, you know what? I don't care. At this point, it's either we're going to win 10 games or 2 games. And I think we're going to win 2 games. But, I think it is what it is. So, you know what? Shout out Bill Belichick and shout out losing 10 games. So, go Heels. All right, bye.
Yes. Shout out to Jacob, who I met at He's Not earlier today. Apparently lives in the neighborhood. He sees me walking and all that kind of stuff. He's just never said, hey, but he, I guess he had a blue cup in him and he wanted to say, hey.
It's fair, Paul. At least Max teams. Because, they had an NFL quarterback all but last year.
Well, speaking of Paul, he called in from a 704.
Hey, guys, it's Paul. Oh, man, they almost had me. But you know what? When the cards are on the table, when it's the biggest game in Carolina football history, you can always count on Carolina football to not deliver. Man, and not deliver. They did. Whoop, boy. If they weren't going to win that game, that is the best outcome because that was hilarious. Listening to that on the way home from my trip, absolutely hilarious. That first drive, man, that was hot sex. Whoop, boy, that was incredible hot sex. But you know what? The rest of the game, much like Bill Belichick's bedroom, he couldn't really keep it up. Yeah. We're on to Charlotte.
I am genuinely disappointed we have not gotten we're on to ...
Yeah. We're on to a 919 call. Those are my favorite kind of calls. All right, 2 more, and then we're going to wrap things up. This is from a 919. They weren't calling in.
Same one.
It was a different one, different number. Anyway, here's a force. I think this is I think this is Mikey from the DFW.
Hey guys, Mikey and DFW. Hell of a performance there by the so-called 33rd NFL team. What a joke. This is absolutely pathetic. And everybody that was paying any attention whatsoever knew this. Love you guys. Later. Bye.
I feel for the Tar Heel fans, man. Because the rational ones were skeptical. The rational ones knew. The rational ones were like, you should probably go and get an actual college football coach, not a 73-year-old only NFL coach who is only here because the NFL didn't want him. You know? And then, of course, look, we talked about it a little bit last week. Much like his tenure with the New England Patriots, he was bringing his buddies along. You know, it's one thing when you're Nick Saban and you have your home for wayward coaches who need a rehab stint. Bill was doing some of this stuff just to prove some points, and those points didn't really pan out. And that's evidenced by Mike Lombardi being the general manager, bringing his kids and keeping Freddie Kitchens and all that stuff. It's more of the same.
Freddie was part of the problem? I mean, you have to keep some connection. Going back to that David Hale and Andrew Adelson.
I'm not saying.
I mean, you have to keep some connection to actual, like, your program. Not that Freddie being there for 1 year.
I was going to say, what's this connection to the program?
Yeah.
At that point, I mean, if you want a connection to the program, keep Mac around.
Bring Ken Browning back. Yeah.
Right. Right. You keep mentioning the Adelson and Hale piece. You know, you keep highlighting that one particular quote. But there's also some more meat on the bone as it relates to just how unorganized a lot of this stuff was.
Well, as I said, that was one of the quotes. It was like they got rid of everybody, and then they had to bring some of the people back as analysts because they were like, they don't even know how to book a flight.
Right. And they didn't understand open request laws, like FOIA, like all that kind of stuff. Which you knew, but like what I'm getting at is, and I go back to every single conversation we've had with Andrew Jones of Tar Heel 24/7. And
I think Andrew's been pretty even keeled about this whole thing.
Andrew's done excellent work, and he's laid it out in the way that he does, very professionally, very objectively. And he was very objective about the inability to understand who was there. The idea in talking with people there, not having open communication, not knowing what others were doing, what was the plan, things kind of changing at the last minute. Like even at ACC kickoff, things just kind of were fluid the entire time. They even had a midstream change in who was going to handle Bill Belichick, right?
Yeah.
So all of these things led you to believe that they didn't really have a grasp on what was happening here. And I think it gets back to the hubris of, I mean, it's just college. How hard could it be? Turns out it's a little harder than that. All right. One more. We'll wrap things up. Wait, no, that was it. That's all I got here in the hopper. A lot of this in the YouTube comments, you know, rest of the teams can't beat up UNC Chapel Hill because they're scripted to be the darling pick of the SEC. What a joke. Yeah, a lot of people just getting mad about this stuff. Let's see. What else we got? We got a lot of comments, man.
People, I got a news for you, though. Like, losing is a feature for the SEC. They
want
you need
marks. You need a mark. Right.
They do not want anyone coming in there like Texas and being like putting their dick on the table in year one and winning their league. They don't want that shit.
Yeah.
They want to come in and get a win. That's what they want.
So anyway, it's a lot of comments. We appreciate everybody getting in the comment section. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button, and then we're going to be back here in a few hours. Do some more podcasting
with a proper Tuesday show.
Will Privet is going to come through.
Oh,
as
is he?
Well. Yes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Privet's going to be in studio. He threw out the first pitch.
I know. We dropped the ball. We probably should have went over to Five County Stadium like first week of August.
I wanted to get
last week of July.
I wanted to get out there this weekend. It just didn't really work with the schedule. It was part of my motivation to go to Chapel Hill. It's like, all right, I screwed up the Mudcats. I didn't have a chance to get out there. You know what?
Yeah.
I want to be out there for game one. Even if I'm not in the building to watch the game, I just kind of want to take everything in. I'm glad I went because, again, I ran into a bunch of people.
Tonight.
And I'll end tonight the way we started tonight. I want to focus on the good times, Joe.
Okay.
And I'll say this. The one positive about Bill Belichick today was it allowed me to see a lot of our people.
Okay.
See him in person. Talk to him.
I've got the real positive for you.
Okay. What's that? It was great to see a lot of our friends out in Chapel Hill tonight on a gorgeous day. An absolutely gorgeous day.
I not only have the positive for you, but I'm just gonna need you to fill in the blanks for me as to what
Taylor
LT possibly said to MJ here that made him go.
Lawrence Taylor, maybe the fiercest pass rusher in NFL history. They are here tonight in their Tar Heel debut.
What could he have possibly said to him that he said so quickly? No. Like, that was definitive. That was not like, I want cocaine, I want to gamble. Is there a card game in Chapel Hill? That must have been like, do you have access to a 15-year-old? Like, what could he have said to him that immediately from MJ it was no? Like, with speed.
We're going to the sorority houses after, right?
Oh, no.
No.
No, we're not.
No, we're not, actually. We're not.
That was amazing. Amazing. Those are the vibes we're looking for. MJ telling LT, hey, man, we're too old for this shit.
Nah, man. He's like, hey, man, love you, mean it, but I got a plane waiting for me. Fueled up and ready to go, man. Fueled up and ready to go. Anyway, on that note, that's going to wrap it up for our OG After Dark. Big thanks to Bloomin' Blinds. Check them out online, Bloomin', no G, Bloomin', I-N, blinds.com. 10 or more window treatments, you get 10% off. They are bringing you all of our OG After Darks. I'm thinking our next After Dark won't be until October, right?
It's gonna be a minute, buddy.
It's gonna be a minute. We'll be like, I want to,
since our teams play a game.
Yeah, I was
that
gonna say,
we
like,
care.
There's
a Duke State game.
Duke State's coming up, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And I do think we should do one after the Carolina Clemson game.
Oh, we will.
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, we got classic Ovies and Giglio planning. When's our next After Dark?
I don't know. We'll do one. I don't know.
Let's have a meeting. What's our next After Dark?
When's that State Duke game?
Let's look.
When is that State? I don't even know.
You got to give me a minute, dude. My internet only works so fast.
We're on the same internet.
I get that. You get that. But that doesn't mean I know where
You got slow fingers. That's what it is.
Here we go.
What do we got?
The 20th, September 20th.
Yeah, I'm here.
Wolves at Duke.
We got time?
No time yet.
Okay. We'll definitely do that.
But we're here.
We'll be here for that one. All right. That's going to wrap it up. Thanks, everybody. We will see you for a normal podcast. Hopefully for a more measured approach to Bill Belichick's debut. See you then.